With recruiting new property management team members, whether it be a property manager, BDM, support, or admin person, I want to focus on how you can go about finding the talent. What are some of the questions to ask in the interview, and really making sure, above all else, you are recruiting talent that fits into your existing team culture and the values and beliefs of the business. Along with all of this, I also want to touch on how you look at retaining the great talent that you already have within your team. What reward structures I'm seeing working in different property management businesses, and what measurements you can put in place so that your property management team can be self-accountable. So looking at what's available to you in terms of finding new talent. You obviously have a choice of fantastic real estate recruitment companies out there. There's P3, Goff Recruitment, Real Estate Career Developers, Christian Adams, just to name a few. Make sure you really provide them, though, a good brief as to what the role is and what the team culture and environment is like within your business. I'm also seeing a lot of success come from posting advertisements on social media sites as well, like LinkedIn and real estate specific member groups on Facebook in finding new talent. Some have even gone to create a video to describe and promote the role that is available, highlighting the team and environment that they would be coming into. Something for you to consider. So once you've shortlisted the CVs that have come through, it's now time to get ready for the interview. I would typically thank the candidate for attending the interview. Provide an overview of the business and the role. Ask the applicant why they are interested in the role and why they're looking for a new role. Go through their resume and ask the candidate to talk through previous roles, ask what they did at each of those and what they achieved and why they have chosen to leave. Some further questions I would now ask would be, can you tell me about a recent job and a specific example of time when you took specific steps to ensure you provided really strong customer service? Tell me about a time recently when you found it difficult to build rapport with a tenant or landlord, why it was difficult, and what process did you go through, and what was the end result? Tell me about a time you worked with someone who wasn't as cooperative as you needed him or her to be. How did you manage through this situation? Can you tell me about a time when you had to meet an important deadline, and what did you do? Give me an example of time you went above and beyond what was expected of you. Tell me about a time when you had a lot of work on your plate and a number of competing priorities. How did you cope? Describe your 3 key strengths as they relate to this role. Describe 3 key areas you're looking for further development in this new role if you were to be successful in coming on board with us. Now, what I'm proposing is essentially a guide to these questions that you should be asking your candidate. These questions should give you a good insight into how the person will fit into your property management team. Now remember, it's an interview, not a presentation. So you really want to encourage the candidate to feel comfortable and provide an opportunity for them before, middle, or end of the interview to ask as many questions as possible. I'd even suggest, depending on your gut feel, that you have some of your property management team on standby before you have the interview. And perhaps halfway through, you bring them in to conduct the interview alongside you so that you have an additional perspective on the candidate. Let's look at retention now. One of my favorite quotes when it comes to retention is this: train people well enough so they can leave. Treat them well enough so they don't ever want to. So how are you facilitating longevity with your people for your business? I know that some might be thinking, well, it's enough that they get paid, but to truly ensure loyalty and to get the most out of your team, there's got to be something else. I'm seeing a lot of businesses now put measurements in place, for want of a better word, key performance indicators, that provide the team exactly what a good month looks like in terms of performance and activity in keeping with the overall service and experience offering that the business wants to provide the landlord and tenant. Some of these indicators are around arrears, how many routine inspections were completed, how many properties leased for the month, how many rent increases have been affected for the month, how many lettings for the month, how many existing tenants' fixed term agreements were renewed, how many new managements were listed for the month. There is a dollar figure attached around each of these if they are met or exceeded. Let's say $100 to each, to which can be quite a substantial reward come the end of the month. However, if some KPIs are met and some aren't, for those that aren't met, the amount is subtracted from the running total from those that were. It follows the reward and consequence model, to which is a motivator to activate behaviours. You can make this an individual dollar reward or a property management team-based dollar reward, and it's divided amongst the number of people you have in the team. I'd suggest rewarding based on the team, because what you'll find, particularly if you have different people responsible for different roles within the property management business, the team will actually start to motivate and keep each other accountable to ensure that the KPIs are met for the month.